There are a few things I wanted to talk about. I know I've written about them before, but I haven't actually talked about them yet. And I thought it got quiet here. We can still hear the road crew going on in the background, but that's okay. First things first, we have disc brakes on the front wheels and the rear wheel. And we also have 6 speeds on the rear there, a single speed on the front. Point being, if you do need to pedal, you have the option, the ability, because these things get pretty heavy when it's only a single speed, and I've never had to pedal except going up a really tough hill, and even then keep it in very high gear, the highest gear. The shift lever I've moved it to the left side of the bike because we use a thumb throttle. The reason we went with the thumb throttle is because people tend to, if they're off the bike and they turn the bike and the bike's on, they tend to twist and the bike will launch like a little rocket. We've seen this happen, not to mention us being in elevators or inside the house moving the bike around, and yes, they're working on the road. Okay, and front suspension is a must. It's amazing when you're hitting 20 plus miles an hour how rough the roads can actually be. So I just love the girder style front end and went with that. Of course, got the headlight. And another thing about going 20 miles an hour is, well, originally we were using mountain bikes, and the tread on the mountain bike is kind of snaky down the center, and you could feel that wiggle in the bike when you were hitting 15-20 miles an hour. So road tires are a must, especially if you're commuting on the road, and that's what these bikes are designed for. They're not really designed for off-road riding at all. They're practical to get you from point A to B through the traffic. Notice also mud guards, better known as fenders. It's nothing worse than not having mud guards and hitting a little bit of a rain or going through some wet place where there had been rain and ending up with wet underwear. Yeah, so another point about these bicycles is I ordered these special because they do have a large area for battery capacity for distance. Now you can get an hour to an hour and a half easily out of these batteries. These are 48 volt 20 amp batteries. That's 960 watts, matched with the motor, which is a 1,000 watt motor, rear hub. And these bikes, a little over the limit, they'll go 25 miles an hour, no problem. Originally I didn't like the LED readout. I thought it was kind of big and bulky and unnecessary, but it's really fun to be able to see things like the miles that the bike has ridden since I first built it. That's 64 miles. And down there the PAS, pedal assist. These bikes didn't put the pedal assist on them because it didn't fit, but you can see this is 5. If it's down on 1, the bike will be walking speed. Anyway, back to the mileage, and here's the odometer. And since I turned it on, I haven't driven any. It's a trip meter. It shows you every time you turn off the bike, it resets. Battery voltage indicator and speedometer. So I do really like this. It's fun to watch. And down here's a watt meter, and it'll show you exactly how many watts you're using. Rarely, only going up steep inclines, I've ever seen it hit 800 watts. So that's giving you an indication that, yeah, you're going to get better than an hour. Of course, we have a horn, have to have, and a headlight, and a nice little tail light. Not as nice as I would like, but that's an option. The back rack and panniers, I like them without them. I like the bike. Of course, I like a bike stripped all the way down, but there's nothing more practical than having a back rack and saddlebags. Just can't beat it. Also, the weight of these bicycles, you don't want to lift them by the seat. I've destroyed seats doing that. So you'll always need a rack, or at least pick them up by the frame. It's one of those things you have to remember. Now, back to the discussion that I've seen a lot of people buy these $500 that are really popular fat bikes. I won't name names, Saunders, Storms, and you know, you hear them all the time, or see them on the posts complaining about, oh, I want a bigger battery, I need a bigger battery. They sell bigger batteries for them. And also, the number one thing I hear, need fenders. Everybody's wanting fenders. They buy these bikes, they're a lot of fun to jump around and play with, but again, our bikes aren't designed to be, well, just for fun. They're designed to be working machines, to go to work and come home. These particular bikes are kind of tall. The saddle on this one, I lowered it. I had to flip over the bolts here, the hold down, flip it over so the seat is actually probably an inch lower. This is a very tall bike, and I found that short people cannot actually, they can't touch the ground on it. I barely touch the ground. So I'm working on methods of lowering the seat down to the bottom. My wife is very comfortable on this. She's only 5'3". My landlady came and she said, oh yeah, I can ride the tall bike. No, she couldn't. So I'm working on an option for lowering the back seat. And my wife and I were out for 2.5 hours the other day on these bikes. I have a horrendous sunburn. They don't come with sunshades. You'll have to watch some of my Chinese videos to see the sunshades. Anyway, I ordered green and black, and that was my first attempt. And again, this is my second, and I'm working on some better battery box designs. But these are awesome bikes. So more videos to come.